what is the most compelling evidence that you have that clearly demonstrates this was a case of self-defense?
I think it will be the testimony of Jane Laut. She's an incredibly articulate woman who I believe people will believe she is authentic in a way that most people aren't.
Will you call their child as a witness?
I'm hoping that we don't have to do that. Obviously, Michael was the witness. That night, he did not leave his bedroom. Either out of fear or whatever, he did not leave his bedroom. So he didn't see anything, and he denies seeing anything that evening. And frankly, nobody's going to really push him on that issue. However, he was witness to acts of violence and his dad's temper and his dad's drinking. He was adopted. It was an Asian child. He's adopted from China.
Mm-hmm.
And his dad would refer to him with racial slurs many a time. I think one of the big disconnects in this case, and this is why it's hard for the police to understand, is Mr. Laut was a huge public figure. Many people talk about what a great guy he was. And publicly, I have no evidence to the contrary. But I do know that privately, he was an ogre. He was a cruel man who abused his wife and child. That's just who he was. And it's hard for people to deal with that disconnect, that how you can be one way in public and different in your home.
We now know that you went to police, but don't you think a jury is going to struggle with Jane Laut's seemingly not wanting to be more forthcoming in getting this resolved, kind of like biding her time, waiting for police to come after her?
Jane made a brief statement to the police on the night this all happened, and has never made any other statements to the police.
In that statement, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but in that statement, did she say in that statement that it was self-defense?
No, she did not. She did not talk about any violence in their house whatsoever. And the only way that you get over, that hurdle is, first of all, it's the truth. It's either, let's put it this way. Let me put it to you this way. What would make, by all accounts, a mild, meek housewife who is devoted to her son, who attends school functions, who cowers when her husband yells, what would make that person shoot her husband a number of times? There's no financial gain. There's no money that changed hands. There's no huge life insurance policy. Their sole asset was their house. It's been sold. It had a meager amount of equity in it. Nothing to make you rich or anything. She has no job skills, really. Her sole means of support was him. She hasn't worked in a number of years, literally just only being a housewife and taking care of Michael.
Are you trying to get her bail reduced?
Well, what happened was, when I talked to the police, I talked to them, and the prosecutor, I always offered that we would turn this Laut in with very short notice. Just let me know when you want her, and we'll walk her right into the Oxnard police station, that there was no need to do any kind of public arrest. I explained to them where she was and where she was staying, and we're not trying to do anything. And they decided to make, this high-profile stop on the street and arrest her in public.
Yeah. That's
their right. They can do that. They did it. And, the standard bail on a case of this nature is $500,000. There's gang members from Oxnard who have prior offenses that have committed similar acts that have $500,000 bail. And now they're trying to justify a $3 million bail for a housewife from Oxnard. I was asking them, what's the reason why? And I don't know of a valid reason to do that, other than you make the arrest like that because you want to portray her in the public as someone other than she is. You release her booking photo to the media when she looks like hell after what you could imagine is a traumatic event. And then you raise her bail to $3 million, implying to people, well, if you knew what we knew, you'd want, $3 million bail. Not everybody gets that. And then the documents that you use to raise that bail with a magistrate are sealed, and so you can't even challenge them.